My name is Mohammad Furqan. I am a US tax consultant and a CPA candidate. If you want to learn US taxation, you can subscribe my channel Mohammad Furqan CPA US candidate. Today our topic is types of corporation and business entities. There are different types of corporations and business entities like sole proprietor, single member LLC, multi-member LLC, C corporation and S corporation. If I will define you individually, so it will be sometime difficult to understand. So I try to explain in difference like sole proprietorship versus single member LLC, multi-member LLC versus partnership, C corporation versus S corporation. So it will help you to understand why what is sole proprietor and what is single member LLC and what is the difference between them. Sole proprietorship and single member LLC, the federal tax treatment is same both of them. In sole proprietorship and single member LLC, owner is one. Both revenue and expenses and profits are declared in Schedule C of Form 1040. 1040 is a form, federal form, which is used to file individual tax return in US. So federal tax treatment is same for the sole proprietor and single member LLC, but the difference is that in sole proprietor you don't need to register your business at state level, or you don't need to get the EIN. It's your wish. If you want to register at state level, you can do it. If you want to get the EIN of your business, you can get it. But in single member LLC is formed at state level, and you have to get the EIN from federal. So sole proprietorship and single member LLC is very distinct, very similar at federal level, federal tax purpose. But in other words, sole proprietorship, you can say a casual form of business, like you are a salaried person and you do some kind of part-time work. So in this way, if you don't register your part-time work, like you drive Uber, or you do in the night, you delivery boy, etc., you do work. So you don't need to register this work at state level or form an LLC. You just need to disclose this other business in Schedule C and of Schedule C of 1040, and just enough. You disclose your W2, which is, if you are a salaried person, you will get W2. So you disclose your W2 in your return 1040, and in Schedule C you disclose your other income. So if we summarize it, so sole proprietor is a casual form of LLC, in which casual form of business like sole proprietor. If I talk about the single member LLC, so I define little bit LLC. When I go to the wording of the LLC, limited liability protection, and this protection shield differentiates sole proprietorship from LLC. This shield differentiate the sole proprietorship business from LLC. Because when you registered a company or a business as an LLC, single member LLC, so owner and the company are separated. When the owner and company are separated, so it's mean the loss or the creditor's liability cannot damage the owner's personal wealth. This is the main difference between sole proprietorship and single member LLC. When otherwise, most of the time I have told you that tax treatment is almost same. Another form is that there is no ownership constraint, enhance your business credibility, because when you form an LLC, single member LLC, so it's a formal form of business, because when you go, I already told you the sole proprietorship is most of the time is a casual form of business. Single When you form the single member LLC, it becomes a formal form of business when you in which you have to follow the state rules, state filings. So the business credibility is increased, and you uh, properly follow the rules and regulations of the company. If I talk about the third segment of the business, multi-member LLC, so I will have to again the single member LLC versus sole proprietorship. So I will differentiate here multi-member LLC versus partnership. Both are same. But again, the difference is the shield, limited liability shield, which is, we can say, limited liability protection, which is given in LLC. In multi-member LLC, if there is a single owner, it will call single member LLC. If there is a casual way of the business is not registered, it will call sole proprietorship. If there is a single owner and the business is properly uh, properly registered and properly managed, so it's called a single member LLC. In the same way, the partnership and multi-member LLC. Partnership, no doubt, partnership is not just like sole proprietorship. Partnership is already a proper form of a business. But the difference between the multi-member LLC and the partnership is that in partnership, creditors can reach to your personal wealth. But in LLC, creditors cannot reach to the partner's personal wealth. This is the main difference, number one. In multi-member LLC, it is or multi-member LLC is also called a pass-through entity. Pass-through entity is a very beautiful concept in US. Uh, in LLC, multi-member LLC is the return company do not pay the tax. In multi-member LLC, company do not pay the tax. How? Let's suppose you and your friend A and friend B form a company, multi-member LLC, registered in Texas, and get the EIN and start the business. And throughout the year, they earn 1 lakh dollar, 100K dollar. They earn the profit. So they will require to file three returns. Number one, they will file 1065. In 1065, entire multi-member LLC activity will be disclosed. Company name, multi-member LLC name, EIN, address, and entire expense, revenue, expense, and profits. But the beauty is that because it is a pass-through entity, the beauty is that 1065 will calculate the profit and distribute between the among the partners. Like A and B has 50-50 shares, and 1 lakh dollar is profit. So 50,000 is yours, 50,000 is yours, and a K1, because as anybody, obviously 1065 you cannot break the 1065, so there will be another form, the sub form, which is called K1. So through the K1 is imported in your 1040, and which is included with your normal income. Let's suppose A and B is doing business, okay, they are not doing any other work, so this K1 will be reported in their individual 1040 tax return, and they will pay the tax accordingly. So this is the multi-member LLC. C corporation. C corporation, you can say uh, most of the time it is very beneficial, but small businesses avoid this structure because it is called double taxation. Because in C corporation, if you go to the UK, in Pakistan, in India, you have seen the private limited company. So if you have the concept of private limited company, so in private limited company, what is actually happened in this C corporation structure? Uh, there are a lot of shareholders, because in LLC the owners are called members, and in C corporation the owners are called directors, shareholders. Sorry, they are called shareholders. So, but most of the time, yeah, 99.9% businesses avoid to adopt this structure, because let's suppose you earn 1 lakh profit. So you pay in this structure the company pay the tax, while in multi-member LLC or S corporation company does not pay the tax. Owner or the member pay the tax. But in this structure, let's suppose you get the profit, and on this profit there is a rate is almost, I think 21% is right now, so you pay 21% tax. So on 1 lakh you pay 21% tax. So if you remove 21,000, so it will be almost $79,000 is in go to your reserve. But when dividend will be announced, because in C corporation dividend is announced, so when the dividend will be announced, so 15% tax will be deducted on dividend as well. So due to this double taxation, businesses avoid to adopt C corporations, and they go for either for the multi-member LLC, for the single member LLC, or adopt the C corp S corporation. 1120 form is used to file C corporation return, and it is not pass through entity like multi-member LLC and single member LLC. It is not pass through entity. It is a single 1120 form will be filed, and the profit will go to the reserve, and after on from reserve you will pay the dividend to shareholders. S corporation, first of all, this is not a type of business or not a type of corporation. It is a tax treatment. It is a tax treatment. Like single member LLC can be an S corporation, multi-member LLC can adopt to be taxed as a S corporation, even C corporation within 100 shareholders can be adopt to be taxed as corporation, because in S corporation the main reason is that which is beneficial for single member LLC and multi-member LLC, because these are pass-through entities, and in pass-through entities shareholder or member or the owner have to pay the tax, so they adopt S corporation, because in S corporation 15.3% self-employment tax is saved to some extent. Well, almost 60 to 70%, 60 to 70% tax is saved in S corporation self-employment tax, because as I told you, the single member owner and multi-member owner has to pay this tax. So I hope it will help you to understand the type of corporation and business entities. If you want to ask any question, I will be happy to answer you. Thank you so much. Have a nice